Hey guys, this is Allie. Welcome to the Inner Gaze. Welcome if you're new. Thank you to all of my new subscribers and for all of you who've been on this journey with me since the beginning. So I just wanted to hop on today because I was pushed to talk about multidimensionality. And I don't know if I've talked about this with you guys or the way that I perceive multidimensionality. If I have before, maybe right now there is a new awareness coming in that I felt like I had to share with all of you. Okay, so when we think about ourselves as multidimensional beings, what does that mean? Well, to me, first of all, to think of ourselves as consciousness, which is the source of all creation, right? So instead of thinking of ourselves in this identity and these skins and these bodysuits and these life stories that we've created for ourselves, right? You know, we've got certain parents, certain histories, certain, things that have happened. Those are the stories. Those are connected to the ego and this present identity and form. But when we start to expand our awareness and we start to open up our consciousness into the higher dimensions, we start to see our mind and our beingness from a higher perspective. So even if you're in cognitive therapy or you're doing something physically with your body that allows you to sort of break out of your own egoic mind and see your own thoughts and perceptions from a higher perspective, that is you sort of creating another dimension of your consciousness, right? The I am that I am. So if at first you believe the inner turmoil in your head and your stories are the I am, right? This is me, this is what I'm all about, it doesn't get any better, life sucks, right? And then you start to break out of those patterns and observe the thinking with your own consciousness. If you can see your own consciousness, right? It's coergo ergo sum, or whatever that, I think therefore I am. Well, I think therefore I am is the ego, right? I am therefore I am is the higher consciousness. It's the awareness that not only are you thinking, but it is the awareness that you have the ability to consciously understand your thought patterns and see it from a higher perspective. That's just the basics of multidimensionality. We are far more multidimensional than just that, okay? The beingness, if we have the capacity, just think about this. If we have the capacity to see our own thoughts and to witness our own reality from another perspective, from a higher plane of consciousness, and then through that higher plane, understand, conceptualize, feel, know, intuit that we are all connected as life forms, as consciousness, observing a reality through a human vessel, that is yet another layer of consciousness. At the source of all consciousness, right? Energy, source, the creation, the creative life force that runs through every living thing, the spark, an idea, like you are made of this energy, and so is everything else that you see in your reality. Therefore, we are all one reality creating itself over and over and over again. Okay, so what I like to think about with multidimensionality, and just it's kind of fun, is that on the next level up we have a higher self, right? The higher self is kind of like in control of the avatar. But I also like to think that we have even higher fractals that could be living physical realities in other dimensions, in other planes, in other planets, in other places. We could have an angelic fractal of ourself that we are just a fragment of. Like this, when I say we, I mean like the human vessel, this little part of me is just a fragment of a very larger soul portion of me that is living primarily on another dimension, on another planet in Sirius, doing a completely different soul mission. But because I'm a fragment of this larger soul, have access to that experience and that consciousness, that timeline, that energy. And as we start to align with our higher selves, we align with all fractals, all concurrent beings of ourselves. I think I might have explained this in this way before, but through my QHHT training, Dolores Cannon talked about the soul and how multiple lives can kind of happen. Not that time is not linear, right? Time is time is kind of like a coil, right? Everything is happening simultaneously. Everything is kind of happening in this now. So like, instead of thinking of a past life as happening before this lifetime or in linear time, I mean, linear time does exist, but you can also think of it as happening sort of simultaneously to this experience, and the soul is kind of getting multiple experiences at once. And I don't know, what's that, like, that Mario character that's like a pink blob or something? He's like a jellyfish, kind of. That's what I'm thinking. It's like kind of like an udder. Can you guys picture this with me? Picture an udder. So it's like your soul is kind of this massive, massive thing, you know, like a hot air balloon, right? And then your body, your vessel, is just the little piece that's like dangling on the edge, right? Like all of the air that's in your vessel is, a lot of it is outside of your, all the air that's in this like balloon part, which is like your massive soul. That is the energy that is your entire being, right? But only like a portion of that is in your incarnation in this present lifetime. And the reason your whole hot air balloon can't fit into this vessel is because our bodies are not dimensionally evolved enough to withstand the vibration and energy that is your soul. Your soul is source, right? Like if you were to descend fully quickly into your body, we'd explode because we just can't handle that amount of energy or that vibration, right? So a portion of us is living in this. And the way Dolores Cannon explains it is that when you are having a past life or a future life, or you're having a hypnosis session and you're having these memories, you're not actually tapping into memories, you are tapping into a parallel existence, right? Which is technically, it happened in the past or it happens in the future, but it's technically, according to this balloon, just another fragment, another dip or udder of your experience. So you're able to transfer your consciousness, kind of like the internet, by tapping into the cloud and then jumping down into another experience. So that's fun. That's another way that we can be multidimensional. So, okay, I know I'm rambling, but let me know if I'm tracking. So there's a few ways that we are multidimensional. I think there's a lot of different ways to think about this. One is that we are a very large soul living outside of the body, having multiple fractals of experiences in the now. So that's where our past lives and future timelines are all occurring simultaneously, right? And we can tap into those things. And in this now moment, we can heal past traumas by experiencing those wounds and reliving those stories and closing those gaps by learning lessons. And therefore, we are healing the wounds that are living in our body now, because we are all sharing an energetic imprint. We're all sharing these imprints and woundings that need to be healed and cleared. So that's why past life regression is such a really cool way to heal trauma, because you are literally going into these experiences to understand them. That way, the energetic imprint that you are currently living out in this lifetime can be closed, can be made harmonious, can be smoothed over, and it can be observed from a higher perspective. Because what we're doing in order to heal, right, is we're generating awareness of the pattern, right? If the pattern is underneath the surface, is an unconscious pattern or a belief, it creates and generates more of the same energy over and over and over until that pattern is sort of like raised up into your conscious awareness. You can see the meaning behind it, and then therefore you can clear it. Okay, I went on another tangent because I guess I'm just getting a lot of energy coming in today. So this multidimensionality exists in that we can look at our parallel timelines and parallel experiences, past, present, and future, in order to help clean up, bridge gaps, and understand our experience in the now. That's one thing that's really awesome about past life hypnotherapy, which is just really, really cool. The other way I think of multidimensionality is simultaneously stacked. If source is kind of at the top, I think you remember that like childhood toy that's like a tube with the little rings, right? Where the bottom ring is the biggest ring and they get smaller and smaller as you get to the top. Well, the very top is source. It's the first spark of creation. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is like the first spark of creation, and then those things split up. It's kind of like the way cellular structures start as one and then divide into two and then divide into four and then make fractals and fractals and fractals and fractals and fractals, right? We all came from that. So therefore we are just a fractal of an experience of higher vibrational experiences that all happened at the same time, right? If the Big Bang just went and everything is a fractal of the very first experience, then we are all part of that. Therefore, we have higher elements, and when I say higher vibration, bigger parts of our consciousness that are living and observing itself through our experience. Okay, so that's a lot, right? And it's fun to think about, but what does it really mean for the ascension process and where we are and how to get through this life? Because yeah, we are still on planet Earth and we are still trying to just get through our lives and pay our bills and be human, right? But it's through our multidimensionality, it's through an awareness of our multidimensionality that we can access unlimited knowledge. A, knowledge. B, the ability to rapidly clear any of the imprinted wounding that we're carrying from our simultaneous existences by collapsing all those timelines. And then that's 4. But 3 is that we are able to create from that perspective. If you've watched any like law of attraction videos, it is all about being in alignment with source, right? In alignment with your creative force. The more you are in alignment and in coherence with your higher fractals, the more you are able to consciously will your manifestations into existence. The more you are living in balance within, right? As within, so without. If you're in harmony within, you are in harmony with the universe, and therefore you can actually create and manifest at will your desires, and things will start appearing in your reality a lot faster. It's kind of like, okay, it seems a lot more theoretical just by explaining it right now, but there is an energetic reality to it. Once you're tapping into the higher vibrations, there's a lot more that you can do with that energy. Like, for instance, and this is how I think my light language is actually, how it fluctuates, right? I'm tapping in, this is how I observe it. It may not be the reality for everyone who speaks light language, but I am tapping into various fractals of my simultaneous existences, right? Whether it be to a galactic presence of mine, that's why sometimes it sounds kind of alien, like, you know? And then other times it's more of like the Magdalene energies, or my higher self energy. It could be actually, lately it's been more like Chechuan or like Incan, because I do feel like I just resolved a past life by going to Peru. So kind of interesting how those things kind of come in and help us through our healing process. It's that we have access to it that rapidly accelerates this healing process for us. So stepping into the awareness that we are multidimensional beings, that we are far greater than this vessel, this experience, this one dimension, is part of the way that we consciously expand our consciousness, right? And it's also how we connect to one another, and it's also how we begin to live in harmony with the life force energy itself. That's the whole point, right? We want to live in harmony with nature because we are nature. We want to live in harmony with the universe because we are the universe. And we want to be in harmony with the system, that co-creative system that we all share together. Therefore, there are no competing energies and distorted belief systems and structures, which is what we're living in. That's how we excel out of it. So anyway, I just wanted to hop on because rapid fire, lots of channeling happening right now. I just wanted to get on and share that with you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or if you think that's complete whack-a-mole, let me know. It doesn't matter, but I love you guys, and I'll talk soon.